everyone. Hopefully this is working right now. I'm checking over things to see if it is because, still trying to make it happen. I'm here with family today and loved ones. We're going to try and do a little bit something different today. So starting from all the way on the end, I'm going to have everybody say their names nice and loud. Starting you, sir, in the blue. Your name is?
I'm Jalen.
And then?
I'm Jovan.
Uh-huh.
I'm Andrea.
And I'm Julian.
You sure about that? You look a little bit nervous there.
I'm Julian.
Okay. Sorry, I know my light's in there. We'll just live with it. I want to do an interesting episode today, and I hope everyone has their cell phones on them because I kind of want to know. This episode is more about you guys in a social media world and how you live through that. What I'm seeing now, we've got the twins, which is Julie and Jovan. You guys are getting ready to go into your senior year, right?
Yes, sir.
And then you have Jalen on the end over here, who's already in college. And then you have Andrea right there in the middle, who's about to go to college, literally next Saturday. You excited?
Yes, very.
So the goal right now is to kind of just learn how you guys live in a social media world. As I grew up, my lifestyle, we didn't have the cell phones the way you guys did. We didn't communicate. When we left school, that was it. Unless you had your friends you called on your phone, you didn't have to deal with anything else until you went back to school the next day. So with you guys, it's nonstop, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And I'm curious how that makes a person feel. So we'll start with the seniors first, and then we'll get all the way up to Jalen in the end. So you guys are getting ready to go into your senior year. So talk a little bit about what it's like for you to actually use your cell phone in a daily life, checking your messages and things like that. Is it a fun time for you, or is it a frustrating time for you?
I mean, I would consider it both in a way, but I feel like it's more of a good time because it makes things easier and it makes it easier to communicate with people, and even with school as a whole, it makes it easier to communicate with our teachers.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like it's a really helpful thing and less frustrating than a lot of people think.
What about you?
I would say it's a fun time, rather less than frustrating, because it gives you like more things to do, more things to use your data upon. Yeah, we're always on our phone, but like we're actually doing something rather than just like sleeping all day and watching TV. I would rather be like integrated in the outside world and more people and knowing more people and stuff like that. It's more of a fun time.
Now, are you actually doing something? Because I kind of want to hit right there. When you're on there, what are you doing? Are you really talking to your friends, or are you just watching the video, something you saw on YouTube or something, and you're just in your own way goofing off, playing around, or are you actually living a social life, as in you are communicating with your friends?
On Snapchat, I would be communicating with my friends, but also, and basically we have these spams on Instagram. We have our main account, we have our spam account. So the spam account is what people post most of the time on a daily basis. They talk about what they're doing and stuff like that. So I think we're more integrated. But like also, I follow a lot of like sports accounts, like NFL accounts, and I get to see what famous like athletes are doing, or what news is happening in the league and stuff like that. So I would say we're actually communicating with some people, but we're also like being entertained by other things.
Okay. What about you?
I feel like, well, usually when I'm talking to my friends, we're usually either talking about what's going on throughout the day, or like what just happened to us, or telling them something, or talking about a funny video we just saw together, or we're planning to meet up. So I feel like our social life isn't built around the phone, because usually when we're talking through there, we're talking about something else, or we're talking about meeting up at a certain time or hanging out someday, or something that's going on.
All right, so let's take it from the person getting ready to go to college. You're in the process of right now, literally, you practically gotten to the point where you said goodbye to most of your friends. So is it truly a goodbye, or does your phone, social media, all those things you have available to you on your phone, make it not a goodbye, and you're still in that kind of communication with everyone?
I feel like it's not a goodbye because phones have been like our main thing of communication. So within Snapchat and like Twitter, or like even FaceTime and iMessage, like we can communicate with each other.
Is it the same as us talking right now to you in your world?
No, it's not the same.
So is there something that you miss by not having that hug, that actually talking to the person?
Well, actually, FaceTime is basically that to me, but
So that's the same balance for you.
yes.
All right, so let's take the perspective of Jalen. So Jalen, you're the oldest brother. You're the oldest out of everybody in here. Um, your perspective of this: when I see all of you together, you're all sitting in the same room, but you're all on your phone. That's okay with you?
Yeah, I mean, I can. It's. I know it's different to like not to like older people because like you guys grew up in a time where it's like you're talking to people all the time, and you're in face to face. And if you're not face to face, you don't really talk to them unless you get on the phone. But the phone is like something you use rarely. But for people like us, teenagers now, we grew up with technology. That's how it was. Like we grew up with cell phones, with televisions, with laptops, FaceTime, Skype, things like that. So it's not like see. So like I said, it's weird to you guys, but like to us, it's normal. It's normal everyday life because it's just how what we were raised around. If you know what I mean.
No, I kind of do. Like I said, we didn't grow up around it. We didn't live our life through it. I don't know you guys unless there's a phone in your hand. And so, me as an Uncle Joe to all of you, I'm thinking I got to go over to their house and hang out with them. And that's my brain. My brain is literally saying I got to go directly to the house, hang out with you guys, and that's my way of being social, being there, being a part of your life. But then I'm realizing at the same time, if I text you, if I FaceTime with you, or use any of the Snapchats or any of that with you, is that equal to you, or is that no? I still want you physically there.
Like you get the so like FaceTime and things like that. To us, it's not the exact same, but it's pretty up there. If you came to us physically and we talked and we could talk when we could like high five, hug, things like that, then yeah, it feels a little bit better because we have the physical connection.
Mm-hmm.
But if you just FaceTimed us or called us, talked to us, Skype, anything like that, it's not that much of a different concept to us.
I guess this is my way of learning how you guys associate your lifestyles with it. So now that you guys, the seniors, are going to be in school, are the rules a little bit different for having your cell phone with you, or is that put it in your locker? I don't want to see it until school ends.
They kind of just made a new cell phone policy for us. They kind of make a new cell phone policy every year to change it up, how like things are being done. Like basically sometime like this year they have like teachers have like a pouch where we just go as soon as we get into class we put it in there. Or like last year we have to have it put away like before we even walk in or we'll get written up. Like they place these cell phone policies around, but not many people follow it to the point where like teachers just don't feel like enforcing it that much. But I guess they see it more as a problem each year, but like when they rebuilt the cell phone policy, it's like no enforcement on it, so nobody really, cares about it that much.
Now, do you know going into college how your cell phone rules are going to be?
Pretty much people are telling us that we're gonna be on our own, so it's at your risk, basically. So if you have your phone out and you miss information, then that's on you. But in high school, they try to train you and tell you to put your phone in the pouch. But if you don't put it in, then that's on you.
What about when it comes to class for you? You haven't officially started yet, but like, have they talked to you already through? Okay, you're getting ready to start school. There's going to be these programs, these books, or things you're going to need. Or if you have an iPad or if you have your cell phone, you can just download the same. Is that possible for you now or no?
It is, and mostly people are still using books. So.
Okay. What about you, Jalen? Because you're already in college, so like, what's the process for you?
It depends on the professor, honestly. Because I will say like this: most professors, if you go on with your phone, like they won't care because, like she said, you're on your own. You're paying for this class. You're paying for what you're learning. It's nothing on them if you don't pass. But also nowadays, I remember it was a couple of my classes last semester. We walked in and we didn't have any need for paper or books. They'd be like, download this app or go on this website, put this code in, and then read this material or do this assignment. So most of the times you need a phone, and that's just where we are now. It's like I think I bought around like I've been in school for a whole year now, and I think I've bought around 3-4 books.
Jeez. Yeah, that's very different from what we're used to. Um, it's hard for me to understand that grasp because another example, and I'll use that with you, Julian. A good example is I'll send you a text message. Now, in my head, it's, "Hey, Julian, how are you doing? How's school coming along?" And it feels like before I hit the send button, you're already replying. So is it literally like a third hand for you? Like you can type that fast and send? Are you thinking about it as you're writing it? Are you concentrating on the words that you're using? Or is it just like second nature? I'm watching the TV or I'm talking to my friends. Oh, Uncle Joe said something, blah, 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 blah. Send it just like that. How is it for you?
I would say it's like second nature. If I'm doing something, I can just like, if you text me, I'll see it. Like if you're family, I'll reply immediately. I'll pick up the phone, read what you say, and I'll send a message back. I'll think about it, read it, and then just like text back. And like, yeah, I type pretty fast. So I'll text back and then send you the message and put my phone down and go back to what I was doing.
All right, so now we're going to get to the hard part because this is where I'm going to need some expertise and help. You guys are communicating with things that we tried to get rid of years ago, which some people call gifs, gifs, however you want to call them. So your emotion is actually attached to a 3-second clip, literally. Because if you're excited about something, there'll be some person that, in one person in their lifetime did like this and they were excited about it. And you guys put that into that gift and that explains how you're feeling. How easy is that to communicate how you feel as opposed to saying, "Uncle Joe, I'm sad. Uncle Joe, I'm hungry." Something like that. I'm asking you because the way you're thinking right now, Javon.
Me?
Yes.
Okay. I'm trying to put my thoughts together. I don't think you would use like a GIF or something to do like "I'm sad." Like if you really want to like talk to somebody, like if like there's something really going on with you and you need to talk to like your uncle or your mom or your dad or something, you wouldn't send a GIF to say that. You would be like, "Hey, this is what's up," or you would actually say it in person. Matter of fact, you wouldn't say like you would say it word for word to them, but like you would use like a GIF if it's like a funny joke or like a reaction to something. Like I don't think we would use it to actually get like a point across, if that makes sense, like a serious point across if we're talking to somebody.
Do you all feel the same way about that? Is that true?
Yeah, like I know if I'm talking to my friends or we're texting or something, if someone sends like a GIF and that's it, then the conversation's over. Like, so GIF is basically how we feel, and then we explain it underneath. Like, we type out what we're feeling, and then we send that also. If someone just sends a GIF, then you're just like, okay, and then you're done.
So, technically, I don't have to respond back after y'all send one.
Yeah.
That's how it is.
Yeah.
I look kind of stupid sometimes. Yeah. So,
Well,
yeah, good to know you're laughing at me.
You can still like it.
Yeah, I like the message.
Or emphasize it.
That was good to know. Yeah, so I think learning from you guys actually helped me with the process of actually trying to figure out what's going on, what's happening, and even right now my computer's a little bit messing up, but we'll keep going. About what's happening. So you got the GIF gifts, however people want to call them, and now emojis are even more important than they used to be. And does that rule apply to the emojis as well? As in, I'm not really feeling this, I'm just responding to what you're saying in that moment, and that's it, and I've moved on?
I don't think so, because like emojis kind of help put the point across, because like sometimes, like I know with some of people in our generation, when people use like periods, like just like actual punctuation, it feels like they're mad at us. So like okay,
Really?
yeah,
Yes.
It just feels like they're mad at us.
Oh, sorry, go ahead. Keep going.
So like adding the emojis is just like it like kind of like clears it up, because there's no actual emotion in text messages. So like somebody could be like, "Hey," or be like, "Okay," like that's it, and then just put a period at the end, and then it'd be like, "Ooh, I don't know about that one." Like you could be like really upset at me, but if they put "okay" like with a laughing emoji or a smiling emoji, like that'll make you feel like, okay, cool. But there's also the smiling emoji where it's just the upside down one, so like it's like a I don't know how to explain it, but like
What does that mean?
I can't
It's
explain it
like-
in words.
It's like, all right then, bro. It's like,
It's like
like say you're like, we've been playing something like for a week, and you're like, this thing just came up, I can't do it. So you send the upside. If you're not feeling the angry emoji, you're not mad.
Mad.
You
It's like
send the
sarcasm.
upside
It's like,
down.
okay, bet.
Like, all right,
Wow.
I mean,
It's like,
that
like,
sucks, but like,
wow.
all right, whatever.
it's like okay, I see how it is. Like I see how it is. That's what it is. I think.
Oh, yeah. And I've never used it because I never knew what it meant, and I was like, I don't know if I'm going to end up hurting somebody's feelings or something. So.
yeah, it's a whole second language. Like
Yeah.
it's a whole hidden language under already difficult language.
So technically speaking, I can send you a message, and if I understand your language better, we could actually have GIF and emoji conversation back and forth for a little bit, or
I
are
don't.
those endings?
I don't think. Yeah, I think those are endings.
If you send just an emoji or just a GIF, or you emphasize or love a message, and you don't say anything after, then I assume the conversation's over. But if you send, like I said, like say I'm like, hey guys, you want to get something to eat, and everyone's like sends emojis of people like sending thumbs up, or gifs of people sending thumbs up or saying yes, then I'm like, okay. If they don't send anything else, I'm like, all right, so where are we going? Like, it's not a full response, you know.
Jeez, I'm sorry. It feels like I need to be taking notes right now. 'Cause it's just,
It's like when you texted me earlier, like be there at 2:30. I was like, I know I don't think you were, I didn't think you were mad at me, but like I was like, he seemed kind of like okay. I was like,
you were like, can I say goodbye to this? I was like, oh my gosh, he could have said goodbye 11 months ago.
yeah. So you were like, be there at 2:30, and I was literally like, I gotta go. Like, yeah.
Wow. No, for me, that's good to know when communicating with you, because the hard part is, as you guys are practically all adults right now. Let's just be honest. You kind of really are in the world today. But as me being older, I want the best way to communicate with you, so you know that A, one, I love you, two, I have your back, and three, you know, if you need anything, you know, you can reach out to me and know that there's not going to be a judgment or anything coming back towards you, because I am the uncle, I'm not the parent, so there's extra benefits that you guys would have. You know, the parent would be like, why'd you do this? And I'd be like, don't tell me you did this, let's do this instead. So, I mean, that's the benefit you have with me, but as I look at it, I'm looking at the communications that I'm having with you guys and the distance that we are between each other. You're going to college. When you guys are more busy than I've ever seen you in my life, it was so easy to grab you, pick you up, have you hang out here for a week or two, and it's no big deal. But you guys have a social life as well. So what happens in the sense of the social world where, we'll start with you, in the social world, when you guys are going to hang out, you got your girlfriends, you guys are getting together, you're going to either out to dinner or to a movie, cell phones with you and you're using them, or cell phones down and you're just talking to one another?
We're mainly on our cell phones, or we're either like taking videos or texting other people. So we're mostly on our phones still.
Why aren't those people with you?
It could be either they couldn't go or they live too far or something, but we're mainly on our phones. Like if we're out to eat at dinner or something, we'll talk for the most part, but then we're on our phones still.
Do you pass the phones around?
No.
Everyone do that answer immediately. That's hilarious.
No, we don't pass the phones around.
But you'll just turn your phone and say,
And
look
show
at this.
something, yeah.
But more than likely, that person's already seen it, right? Because
Yeah, but sometimes. All the time.
is there a moment? I'll talk to Julian with this one because this is going to be a good one. Is there a moment where you're like, I am so bored with my phone right now. It's gotta go.
Like when Jay used to come over, we used to always play board games, and I used to love it. Like I loved it, but like it would make me mad because I'm not gonna snitch or anything. But Jalen and Javon used to always like sit on their phone. It used to make me so mad. But I loved playing the board game. But like when you're in the moment, you won't be like on your phone. So I wouldn't get bored of it, but I would notice myself not using it. Like yesterday, I went to CC's with friends, and we were just chilling, talking about practice and stuff like that for like an hour. We weren't even touching our phones. We was talking, having fun. We were loud, but we were in public, and it was kind of bad. But like we weren't using our phones. Our phones on the ground. We was talking to each other, having fun and stuff like that. So you'll notice when you're not on your phone and having fun. I want to say you would get bored of it, but you would just like put it down and just live in the moment.
How about the rest of you? Is there a live in the moment, put the phone down scenario?
I don't.
Yeah.
I think when
Yeah.
I hang out with my friends, like we do like a little bit of both, but we always talk to each other. Like we don't.
Yeah.
We don't focus on our phones the whole entire time. Like we make sure, because a lot of my friends, they're either off at college and they just got back this summer, or like some of them have moved away, or some of them go to a different school. Like, so when we're together, we make it like really count. I mean, sure, we check our phones every now and then, but like it's not like I'm gonna be on my phone the whole time. No, we like make that a moment and make it a memory. We might post on Snapchat like, hey, we're all together, like we're eating, but like we're not so invested to the point where we're not talking to each other, or we're not making amazing memories together.
I'd say it's kind of like a weird evolutionary trait that we like our generation developed, because we can be hanging out with friends and talking and stuff and also check our phone, but we'll still know exactly what's going on around us. Like I remember I was with my friends last night, and New Girl was on the TV, and we were also talking to each other, and every now and then we would check our phone, but we would still know what the conversation was, what's happening in the show, and what's going on around us, and we could still talk to each other while on our phone. It's kind of like a weird thing that we've developed. So like, I mean, it's like it's not even there, but it's in our hand, but it's still like it's not even there, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I do know what you mean, because I've seen you guys game. You'll play video games, and literally in between a match that'll be like maybe 15 seconds, you'll pop up on social media, like, respond, what's up, what's going on, get into this room, and you'll do all that within a matter of seconds. Put your phone down, and then you're back in the game again. And I'm like, how did they just do that? Like, and then meanwhile, I'm turning my phone off because I can't concentrate at all. There's too much information coming at me. So there's no overload for you at all.
Yeah, that's what my sleep is for.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
It's just we're so used to it now.
I feel like we're also expecting something on our phone, so when we bring it up, we like have it, like we have an idea of what we're gonna do. Like if I pull up my phone, I'm like, oh, I gotta check Snapchat, or I gotta check my messages, or like boom, mom texted me, or mom called me, gotta answer, like stuff like that. Like you're expecting something, so you already like, I guess, formulate a plan subconsciously of what you're gonna do, and it just happens.
Jeez, that's incredible. So, like, literally the technology that we're in now is causing you guys to multitask in a way that I've never seen, because it's not like you're just doing maybe Instagram or Snapchat. I know you probably barely use Facebook at all or something like that, but in essence, you're using several different forms of social media within a matter of seconds, and then going back to real life as if nothing happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
Never thought of it that way, but
I mean,
it's crazy thing about it.
it's crazy, because in our world, I live in a world where I'm like, I'll see a new coworker, for example, if they're in your age, your range, I'm like, oh my gosh, can you put your cell phone down and work? And they're like, I'm working, like literally, or they'll be like, I can do both at the same time. I'm like, no, you can't. You need to be doing this, or you need to be doing that. But with you guys, I'm seeing a new world to where when you guys are getting your jobs, like I'm seeing people that are your age, a little bit older, they're either in the medical field or some other field, and literally they'll be like, let me check your vitals. And they're checking the vitals, and they're checking their phone. Checking my vitals, checking the phone. And then they'll have the numbers, they'll put that in, and be like, and respond to something that someone wrote. And I'm like, oh my gosh, can you just pay attention to me? I'm the one that's sick. But you're not showing any disrespect, are you?
No, it's just like, I remember we did for one of my English essays, we had to write about like what phones are doing to us, and there's a scientific research done that our phone is like, it's like a part of us. Like I know that it was like in 90% of kids of our age, teenagers, if our phone's in our pocket and say we're talking to you, if it vibrates, everything that we're just talking about or we're doing or anything, it doesn't even matter how important it is, all of our focus goes on what's going on the phone, who's texting me, who's doing this, who's doing, like my phone literally just vibrated and I almost forgot what I was talking about.
Wow.
But it's a thing that, see, I kept talking to you and I kept it going. Like, it doesn't matter if this vibrates, like we're going to lose focus, but we can still continue what we were doing.
yeah, I don't think we
Yeah.
like
Back
check
in
out
the
of it.
Yeah.
day, it's
I
like,
can
our phone
still
is vibrating. We're like, yeah, our phone's vibrating. Keep talking. Once we're done talking, pull our phone, see what happened, put it back.
It's
And
not
then
like
start the conversation again.
Like they said, it's like a drug to us. Like it vibrates or goes off, and everything that's going on right now, we don't care about. It's what is going on the phone.
Phone.
So I guess we gotta kind of come to a close. I'd like to try to keep this a half hour because Vincent and I went like almost 4 hours or whatever.
I didn't even know this was a half hour yet.
Yeah. So what I kind of want to ask, when it comes to my age group and older, are you guys okay with us not being in that world, or do we need to come to that world in order to have a better relationship with you?
I don't think you guys need to come to the world to be in a better relationship. I think you guys just need to understand the world, because there's a lot of adults who believe that technology is the worst thing in the world, and they like think that we are so invested in our phones that it's like ruining us. And like, sure, it has its negative effects, but it kind of has some positives. And I feel like some adults just are throw it out the window instead of like trying to understand it. They don't have to be a part of it, but they can understand it.
Interesting. And everyone else agrees with that statement?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agree.
Wow. Okay. Well then, thank you guys for actually taking the time. I know you guys are extremely busy, and I'm so proud of how everyone just kind of really kept their phone down the whole entire time. But I actually wanted your phones to actually be here for us to actually see that social media world of being able to do that. So what I want to do is when you are off to college, when you guys are in your senior year, when you're in your second year of college, I want to have you guys come back and then see what the world is like, because in my point of view, it's going faster and faster. And I'm trying to do everything I can to catch up, but you guys are in a world where things that are popular to you actually revolves around social media more than it does about what a movie or an actor is doing. Or is that not true? Or
I feel like it's both.
both?
Sometimes. I mean,
Okay.
sometimes we don't like actors, and sometimes we love actors. So it's like kind of like opinionated with that scenario.
Yeah, I have like 5,000 more questions, but I just kind of want to end. It's just for me. This is actually really, really incredible. I love all of you. You guys are incredible, and I love your mindsets, your togetherness, how you guys communicate, and how you talk. And for me, I really want the best perspective possible to make sure that I'm communicating the way that you guys love, you guys understand, and to make sure that I'm not doing anything like you said earlier with be here by 2:30, disrespecting you in any way. So I learned so much right now from just this little bit, and I'm looking forward to having more conversations like this so that way I can learn. But for now, we're going to end it here. But thank you guys again for being with us, and look forward to next week's show. I'll see you guys later, all right?
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.